What if the next home for humans is not on Earth, but on Mars? A frozen red world filled with ancient secrets, hidden water, and signs of possible life. Mars may hold the answer to the biggest question of all. Are we alone in the universe? A question must be spinning in your mind too. Why is Mars called the Red Planet? Could humans really live on Mars one day? Was there ever life on Mars? Why is Mars so cold and dry? How long would it take to travel to Mars? What makes Mars different from Earth? Are there volcanoes on Mars? Why do scientists keep sending robots to Mars? Can plants grow on Mars? What is the biggest mystery about Mars today? In this video, you will get the answer to every question, so make sure to subscribe to the channel. 1. Why is Mars called the Red Planet? Mars is called the Red Planet because its surface is covered with iron oxide, which is basically rust. Just like old metal on Earth turns reddish-brown when it rusts, the rocks and dust on Mars have the same effect. This rusty material spreads across the planet and gives it its famous red color. People noticed this red glow thousands of years ago. Ancient Romans connected the color red with blood and war, so they named the planet after Mars, their god of war. Even through a telescope today, Mars shines with a reddish light that makes it easy to recognize in the night sky. 2. Could humans really live on Mars one day? Scientists believe humans may be able to live on Mars in the future, but it would be extremely difficult. Mars has no breathable oxygen, freezing temperatures, dangerous radiation, and powerful dust storms. Humans would need special homes called habitats that protect them from the harsh environment. Organizations like NASA and companies like SpaceX are working on plans for future Mars missions. The goal is not just to visit Mars for a short time, but to build permanent colonies where people can live and work. One day, children may grow up on Mars and call it home. 3. Was there ever life on Mars? This is one of the most important questions in science. Today, Mars looks dry, cold, and lifeless. But billions of years ago, scientists believed Mars had rivers, lakes, and maybe even oceans. Where there is water, life becomes possible. Mars rovers have discovered dry riverbeds, minerals formed by water, and large amounts of frozen water underground. Scientists believe tiny microbes may have lived there long ago. Not giant aliens, not monsters. Just simple, microscopic life. If life once existed on Mars, it would mean life may be common across the universe. 4. Why is Mars so cold and dry? Mars is farther away from the Sun than Earth, so it receives less sunlight and heat. Its atmosphere is also very thin, which means it cannot hold warmth the way Earth does. Most of the Martian atmosphere is made of carbon dioxide with almost no oxygen. Temperatures can drop below -100 degrees Fahrenheit. Because the air pressure is so low, liquid water cannot stay on the surface for long. Most of the water is frozen underground or trapped in the polar ice caps. Scientists think Mars may have once been warmer, but over time, it lost most of its atmosphere. That changed everything. 5. How long would it take to travel to Mars? With today's technology, traveling to Mars would take about 6 to 9 months. The exact travel time depends on where Earth and Mars are in space, because both planets are always moving around the Sun. Scientists must wait for the perfect launch window, which happens about every 26 months. Astronauts would spend months inside a spacecraft with limited supplies, no fresh air, and constant exposure to radiation. This journey would be one of the hardest missions in human history. Going to Mars is not like flying across the world. It is a true deep space adventure. 6. What makes Mars different from Earth? Mars is smaller than Earth and has much weaker gravity. If you weigh 100 pounds on Earth, you would weigh only about 38 pounds on Mars. A day on Mars is very close to Earth's day, about 24 hours and 37 minutes. But a year on Mars is much longer because it takes 687 Earth days to go around the Sun. Mars also has 2 small moons called Phobos and Deimos. Unlike Earth, Mars has no oceans, very little atmosphere, and no strong magnetic field to protect it from dangerous solar radiation. It feels familiar, yet completely different. 7. Are there volcanoes on Mars? Yes, and they are massive. Mars is home to Olympus Mons, the largest volcano in the entire solar system. It is nearly 3 times taller than Mount Everest. This giant volcano formed because Mars does not have moving tectonic plates like Earth. On Earth, plates shift and move, but on Mars, lava kept rising in the same place for millions of years. That allowed Olympus Mons to grow to an unbelievable size. It is one of the greatest natural wonders in our solar system. 8. Why do scientists keep sending robots to Mars? Because Mars may hold answers to humanity's biggest mysteries. Robots like Perseverance rover and Curiosity rover explore the surface, collect samples, and search for signs of ancient life. They study the soil, weather, radiation, and possible landing areas for future astronauts. Sending humans first would be too risky and too expensive. So robots go first. They are our explorers. They are our eyes on another world. 9. Can plants grow on Mars? Not naturally, but possibly with technology. Mars' soil contains harmful chemicals, and there is almost no liquid water on the surface. The air is too thin and too cold for normal farming. But scientists are testing ways to grow food in protected greenhouses using artificial light and special farming systems. Future astronauts may grow vegetables like potatoes, lettuce, and tomatoes on Mars. Food is necessary for any long-term human colony. Without farming, life on Mars would be impossible. 10. What is the biggest mystery about Mars today? The biggest mystery is simple. Did life ever exist there? Every mission to Mars is trying to answer that one question. Every rover, every rock sample, and every scientific test is part of the search. Because if even tiny bacteria once lived on Mars, it would change everything. It would mean life can appear on more than one planet. It would mean Earth is not the only living world. And it would mean we may not be alone in the universe. That is why Mars continues to capture human imagination. It may hold the greatest discovery in history.